Scantibodies Laboratory Inc. was founded on May 20th, 1976, in a small garage located in North Park, San Diego, California. Started by Tom Cantor and his wife Cheryl Cantor, they took the $130 in their pockets and started their journey. 35 years later, the company has grown from a small garage to employing over 650 workers around the globe, with offices in France, Germany, Japan, Ethiopia, Tecate, Mexico, Santee, and Ramona, California. Manufacturing over 1,500 different products, it's almost impossible to walk into any clinical lab in the world and not find a Scantibodies component. Since the foundation of the company, the main focus has been to harness the power of antibodies, to utilize them to select, detect, isolate, concentrate, and/or eliminate various biological agents that play a role in disease progression and monitoring. Scantibodies is a world leader in the creation and harvesting of antibodies.
Hi, I'm David Cantor, Manager for Global Sales for Scantibodies Laboratory. The products that Scantibodies manufactures can be divided into three primary areas: raw materials, contract manufacturing, and the clinical laboratory. Let's start with raw materials. If you go to the doctor, chances are that at least one ingredient in the blood test will have been made by Scantibodies. The customers that buy our products are large medical blood test manufacturers who make many different kinds of blood tests. These blood tests will be used to test for all kinds of conditions and diseases.
Before Scantibodies existed, the only way that diagnostics was being done in patients was through extractions of blood looking for large quantities of certain substances, such as glucose, cholesterol, and sodium, that would then be mixed with a chemical looking for a reaction. Not such a great method, but it was the only way until the 1960s that it was discovered that antibodies could become a much-needed solution. Mr. Cantor saw that antibodies would be very important in the future to treating and diagnosing diseases. It was in the 1970s that Mr. Cantor began perfecting the process. But how do we create and harvest antibodies?
My name is Tom Slattery. I've been with Scantibodies for 15 years. I'm the manufacturing manager of antibody production, and I'm in charge of the monoclonal and polyclonal antibody production here in Santee. In the cell culture department here in Santee, we also generate monoclonal antibodies like we do down in Tecate in the vivarium, but rather than using a mouse to produce the antibody, we use roller bottles, bioreactors, and shake flasks, and inject the hybridoma cells instead of into the mouse. We inject them into those in vitro systems to make monoclonal antibodies. The product that we make in the cell culture department, which is referred to as cell culture supernatant, is then transferred to our immunochemistry department in the protein lab, where it's purified and then it's used for medical diagnostics. The other product line that the antibody production department is responsible for is polyclonal antibodies. And instead of using hybridoma cells to inject into mice and bioreactors, the process for making polyclonal antibodies is to inject the antigen of interest into larger animals such as rabbits, goats, and sheep. The animal's immune system generates antibodies, and we extract those from the whole blood. And that process is done at our Ramona Ranch facility.
Harvesting our many different animals takes place at our ranch facility in Ramona, California. The ranch is an 8-acre facility which has the capacity to house over 1,200 goats and sheep and almost 400 rabbits.
Hi, my name's Heidi. I am the ranch supervisor here at the Ramona facility, and I have a staff of 5 currently. We have a head of 176 goats, 35 rabbits, 6 sheep, and my responsibilities here are to overlook my staff, to make sure all the programs are being kept up. Each week we have a number of goats that we bleed. We make sure that they're bled. Anybody that's not bled, we do up a report on them. The sheep are harvested from once a month. The rabbits are harvested from once a month as well. So this is where it all begins.
All of our mice reproduction and in vivo monoclonal antibody production takes place in our state-of-the-art Tecate, Mexico facility, which has a capacity of over 200,000 mice. All of our mice are housed in state-of-the-art barrier rooms, which contain each of the breeding and production groups. Special environmental controls are in place for every aspect of the sanidomes, including light, noise, humidity, positive air pressure, and air exchange. It is because of this planning and execution of our state-of-the-art facility in Tecate that Scantibodies was awarded one of 3 ALAC accreditations in Latin America. ALAC is a private, nonprofit organization that promotes the humane treatment of animals in science. One of the most important breakthroughs in the company's history came in the 1990s with the creation of Scantibodies' HBr false positive blocker. Scantibodies blockers were developed to provide protection from false positive test results for patients. In 1996, Scantibodies received the prestigious ISO 9001 certification from Lloyd's of London.
Hello, my name is Becca Winter and I'm the Customer Service Supervisor here at Scantibodies Laboratory. I am here today to talk to you about how Scantibodies products can help people's lives. So imagine, if you will, a situation where a female goes into a doctor's office for an MRI or an X-ray. But before they can do one of these tests, they must give her an HCG pregnancy test to make sure that she's not pregnant. If they do this HCG pregnancy test and the results come back positive, they will assume that she is pregnant. In a hypothetical situation where, unknown to the doctor, the result is actually due to a false positive, and they were unable to find any sign of a pregnancy during ultrasound, the doctor will begin to assume that the elevated HCG levels were caused by cancer. If those levels continue to remain positive, the result could be chemotherapy, removal of organs or tissue, and a whole host of other immune system problems related to the treatments. All of this caused by a false positive test result. So here at Scantibodies, we are proud to offer a very unique and special product called HBr. HBr is designed specifically to prevent these types of false positives, giving patients and doctors peace of mind because they can trust their test results.
After we have our antibodies, we can start the manufacturing process of the different elements and tools we create for diagnostics, medical, and research science professionals.
My name is Leif Cadenhead. I am the packaging manager for Diagnostic Kit Manufacturing Department. In DKM, we manufacture diagnostic kits. In addition to that, we also manufacture the custom standards and controls for those kits.
One of the biggest processes we have is creating diagnostic testing kits. Some of the many kits that we create help patients and doctors determine if a patient has tuberculosis, Cushing or Addison's disease, osteoporosis, an imbalance in PTH levels affecting the bones, kidneys, and intestine tissues. A large portion of the work done at Scantibodies are the creation and customization of products for many different clients. And one of the largest jobs that we have undertaken has been in our PTK department. It was here that in 1994, the world's leading pregnancy and fertility kits, First Response and Answer, were moved to Scantibodies for redevelopment and manufacturing. With future expansion ready to go, Scantibodies has the capacity currently to create and package over 4.8 million devices a month or over 60 million in a year. But before all of this manufacturing takes place, a team of chemists and engineers develop the proper antibodies and other elements that make these tests so effective.
Hi, my name is Scott Sherrod, and I've been with Scantibodies Laboratories for approximately 4.5 years. I am the PTK Formulation Supervisor. Here in the Pregnancy Test Kit Department, or PTK for short, we handle from beginning to end the entire production and manufacturing of female fertility tests, ovulation tests, and of course pregnancy tests for our customer Church & Dwight, who distributes the First Response products to the retail consumer. All production lots run through several rounds of qualification testing for both the reagents and the raw materials used to verify the quality and dependability of each test before production even begins.
After the final testing of the pregnancy test kits, the batch of strips are transferred to our Tecate facility where they will undergo final assembly and packaging. It is here where the tests begin to appear like an actual pregnancy test. All of the assembly and packaging is handled in this facility by the many dedicated employees we are proud to have working for us. Back in our Santee offices resides Scantibodies Clinical Laboratories, where, in order to best serve the needs of clinicians in the U.S. for accurate PTH testing, Scantibodies opened a subsidiary clinical lab in the year 2000 to accomplish its third-generation PTH testing for kidney patients. In 2006, Scantibodies obtained a rapid PMA approval of production of the QIAGEN cell-mediated tuberculosis test, which the CDC called the biggest breakthrough in tuberculosis since the advent of antibiotics. Quantiferon TB Gold is now being produced at SLI in our DKM department and offered as a testing service through Scantabody's clinical laboratory. Scantabody's has been a proven leader in the development of antibodies for all sorts of applications. And by using the ideas and principles that have made our company so successful, we are building for the future. Founded in 2011, Scantabody's Biologics, Inc. houses a state-of-the-art plasma facility. It is here where we collect, from volunteer donors, what has been referred to as the fluid of life, or plasma. Plasma is essential to the functioning of the human body. It is the vital, foundational substance needed to produce new therapies for many life-threatening conditions. The body can easily replace the donated plasma, but plasma cannot be manufactured synthetically. It can only be given by healthy adults like you and me. We believe that we are only scratching the surface of what plasma will be able to do for us in the future. When creating our facilities in Tecate, Mexico, Mr. Cantor wanted more than just a manufacturing plant. He wanted to create a work environment that would inspire and offer hope to the residents of Tecate, offering competitive wages and benefits, as well as a full-service restaurant with affordable meals offered daily, free schooling for employees' children, and more. Scantabody's has changed many lives in Tecate and has brought the treatment of employees around the world into the spotlight, earning Scantabody's recognition for an outstanding work environment by media outlets across the country and by our customers and peers. In 2008, Scantabody's Laboratory, Inc. founded its Ethiopia location. Mr. Cantor realized through a close friend in Ethiopia that what citizens of this great country needed wasn't more handouts, but permanent employment. Scantabody's Laboratory, Inc. founder and president Tom Cantor has a very strong foundational faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. Raised in a Jewish home, it wasn't until he met his future wife Cheryl that he desired a relationship with the Lord Jesus. His success with Scantabody's has allowed him to do many things to glorify God, including the purchasing and operating of the Creation and Earth History Museum in Santee, California, and has since expanded the museum with the opening of the Human Anatomy Wing in the fall of 2011. But it is Mr. Cantor's love and passion for Jewish people that really drives him. Mr. Cantor is constantly looking for opportunities to share his faith in Jesus Christ to his Jewish brothers and sisters.
My name is Anna Marie Cadenhead. I'm the Human Resources Manager, and I have been with the organization since 2006. One of the things I think is most fun about my job, and the thing that I'm most proud of, is the fact that the people here make it a joy to come every day, and I'm proud to be partly responsible for that. I look for people of high character that can bring great value to their positions in the organization, and our tenure is extremely high with the company and our turnover is very low. Scantabody's is a great place to be. It's a fun place to be. The people that we focus on bringing in are going to make this company grow and get to the next level. It's exciting, the things that are on the horizon for the organization.
Scantabody's views the skills and knowledge gained over its 35-year history as a divine trust that must be used through expanding applications to help patients. The research efforts at Scantabody's are constantly looking at diseases with new angles by asking the same simple question: can the abilities that Scantabody's has in making antibodies be used to benefit these patients? We will continue our cutting-edge research and development of new products to push open the doors of science and bring solutions to diseases and cancer detection to an anxiously waiting world of patients who need our help.